good, y'all? It's Fuego Vision. We got Li’2. Li’2, who you got with you, bruh?
I got my little brother with me, man. Little heads, man. GSM heads. King Esco.
Alright. So Li’2, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Like, what you want to know? Like,
what inspired you to get into music?
What inspired me to get into music? I always knew I could rhyme and shit like that, right? And I used to watch my big cousin, his name Jit. I used to watch my big cousin and his homeboys and shit. In Alabama, I used to watch them like make beats and shit like that. And watch them rapping in the living room and in the kitchen and shit like that. And I used to always be rapping in my head and shit, you feel me? That shit made me, I just know I could do it.
That's good to hear. So what was the first track that inspired you to get into the studio?
Good ass question, man. First track. I don't know the first track, but when I heard that Lil Wayne, that a milli, that's what made me want to start rhyming on the beat, you feel me? Like, that's all I can say about it. I don't know the first track, though.
All right, I understand. So, tell me a little bit where you come from.
I was born in Hagerstown, Maryland, but I grew up in Ozark, Alabama. I moved there when I was like 6. And growing up down there was like, it's a small town, like everybody know everybody.
So like Hagerstown?
Smaller.
Oof.
But it's a lot of shit going on in the town though, like, shit, I don't know how to describe it, bro, but you just gotta know what you're doing down there.
I feel you.
You can get caught out of place real quick.
That's how it is everywhere, though. But nah, so what made you move up to Hagerstown, though?
I ain't gonna say nothing made me move, but I ain't grow up with my pops. And I want a relationship with my pops, and like my little brother sitting right here and shit like that. And I felt like I spent enough time down there and shit. And I had got into a situation down there and shit that made me all like, all right, fuck this shit. I need to go up north, get to know my other side of my family and shit like that. And I had to catch a different vibe, better scenery and shit like that.
All right. So, you got any kids?
I got 2 kids, man.
All right.
King and Emmy girl, Emerald.
How old are they, if you don't mind me asking?
King, he just turned 5 on September 11th, and Emmy will be 2 December 4th.
2? Damn.
Walking with his Glock 23. I got my 9 too. You better talk to God if you think you finna slide through. Don't make the wrong move.
Welcome back to Fuego Visions, man. We got Li’2 in the building. He was telling us where he came from, Ozark, Alabama to Hagerstown, Maryland. Then now, I also was asking him about his kids. I was also asking him about how did he first get into the booth. And, you know, so we're about to keep it moving. Let's get this interview moving. So, the next question I gotta ask you, though, is what is your obsession with guns?
What is my obsession with guns? I ain't gonna say I got no obsession with no guns and shit like that, but where I'm from, it's either keep a gun, it's either eat or be eaten, you feel me? Like, and I experienced that firsthand. You either gonna do what you gotta do, or you gonna get dead up, one way or the other. That's why I walk around with shit like this on me. Billy Western, you feel me? That's why I do shit like that, you feel me though? You got to, cause you never know what's going on.
So, I'm pretty sure all the viewers is gonna wanna know, when was the first time you ever let your shit go?
First time, man, I ain't finna answer that, man.
All right. You gonna keep it rolling? Let's keep it rolling.
You get hit with some hot shit, damn. 2 let it off when he pop shit. No face.
Li’2, there's this one track that I love listening to. I ain't gonna lie, that shit is fucking fire. Post-traumatic. Tell me, what made you make that song?
I'm gonna say post-traumatic, man. After the little situation I went through and shit like that, I really was diagnosed with like PTSD. Like, I really was diagnosed with that shit from a whole doctor and shit. Like, so I felt like I couldn't talk to nobody. I don't like to talk to doctors and none of that type of shit to tell them how I'm really feeling and shit like that. I feel like I had to put it out in the song. so people could feel me in the song. And there's certain people that look at me certain type of ways and they don't really know me. And I feel like that was one of them songs to let a nigga know, like, I act like this or I'm like this because of this. Like, and that's what inspired me. Like, I wanted people to know another side of me and not just what they see. Like, know why I'm like that and shit like that. Like,
Alright.
That's what it is.
So, the way post-traumatic took place, right? Where exactly did it take place?
What you mean?
So basically, how that whole song was is a nice visual, but I can't tell where exactly it happened at.
Oh, like the video?
Yeah.
You want to know
the
like
video,
what the video was at?
The video and why, like the rap lyrics, all that. Like, where exactly did it take place?
Oh, I wrote the song. I wrote the song on myself one night. I was chilling, smoking in the whip and shit like that. I heard the beat and I instantly started writing the song and shit. But the video took place in my cousin's house. It was supposed to take place at another location, but the dude who do my videos and shit, he couldn't find a location we wanted to do it at. So we did it at Maya crib and shit like that, my cousin Maya crib, and that shit, it still came out.
Hey, I'm post-traumatic. Got it on me when I'm sliding in traffic. Ain't been feeling right, I let a bitch have it. Like it go boom, watch him poof, magic. Hope you ain't signed up for this life, no lie. Play with me, you ain't getting no passes. Be who you be, you ain't cut from that fabric. I'm in the trap catching plays like it's mad. For nigga, what's up? Yeah, they tried to set me up. Bitch, I got right back in the cut. Now my 30 be tough. Oh, you really think you tough? We gon' do him dirty, ain't no love. Play me like a scrub. I know I ain't big, but the Glock is run up on me and you get hit with some hot shit. Damn, two let it off when he pop shit. No face tryna leave a nigga block. You the change.
Alright. So let's change the subject a little bit. So my next question will be around, let's say, what's your relationship with your parents?
My relationship now or back then?
Give us the whole story, back then until now.
I kind of, like, growing up, I remember being a kid, being around both of my parents and shit, but I remember my pops being in and out of jail, in and out of prison and shit like that. I remember my mom doing drugs and shit. Like, I remember my mom always dropping me and my little sister off, like, at other people's house to watch us and shit, so she could go out and do what she wanted to do and shit like that. And I remember for a good point, my pops was in prison and we was staying in my grandmother's house. We call her Nan. I remember staying in her house for a minute and shit like that. And I remember my pops had got out of prison for a minute and he went right back to prison. And I remember while he was in there, me and my little sister, we got sent to Alabama from up here. And we had to grow up in Alabama. And I remember my pops getting out. Like, the first year we was in Alabama, I remember my pops getting back out. But I remember him going right back. I think when I was in first grade or second grade, I can't remember which grade. But he went right back to prison. So, like, they wasn't really involved in shit. Like, once I grew up and I started paying attention to shit, like, once I got up in age, playing sports and all that type of shit, my grandma was at my games and shit. And, like, parent and student day and shit like that, my grandma was there. Like, I don't remember my parents being there, either one of them. And I just remember growing up for the longest without them and shit like that. And then when I hit about 17, shit like that, that's when I remember, like, really, like, rebuilding my relationship with both of them. But you know, shit ain't gonna be the same though when you're a kid and you grow up without them and shit like that, and then you try to work some shit out. Like, you already got your own frame of mind and shit like that. Like, so shit, it be hard, but we make it work.
Alright. I like that answer. That was a very good answer. So, my next question is, I see you got locks on you. How long you been growing them locks for?
About 6 years. I've been growing about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 6 years.
6 years?
Yup.
And how long are they right now?
I ain't gonna pull them out or nothing like that. You feel me? But they down to here now. Like, they down here. Like, my shit long.
Alright. So, next question will be, let's go back to high school.
Okay.
So where, I'm guessing high school took place in Maryland? Or
Only 1 year.
Only 1 year?
I went through freshman to junior in Alabama. I did my senior year out here.
Okay. All right. So, how would you say your senior prom was?
I ain't go to prom.
You didn't go to prom?
Nope.
All right.
Fuck these bitches. I ain't had no bitch to go to prom with.
All right.
Okay.
Spacey got the sauce.
Yeah. Hey, it's that soul music, it's that gangster soul music, you feel me? I just had to put the cup down, you feel me? Yeah. This some shit that you can vibe to, that you can ride to. Ain't seen a nigga do it like me, hey, who you lying to? Walked in with his Glock 23, I got my 9 too. You better talk to God if you think you finna slide through. Don't make the wrong move, cause that's how you make the news. I keep a couple niggas with me that's gon' break the rules. Flying like a blind man, I'm always moving with the tool. You must be a fool if you think I'm finna play with you. Hey, I ain't finna play with you. Baby say she got with a winner, cause she don't like to lose. Ask me where I'm trying to go with this, but I ain't got a clue. And I can't lie, God is my witness, I'm trying to slide with you. I'm tired of playing cool.
Welcome back to Fuego Visions. We got Li’2 in the building. So Li’2, could you elaborate on your PTSD of what you said earlier? What, when, where, and how it got you into that situation?
What you want me to take you through that day?
Take me through the whole day. Through the whole day.
Alright,
You woke up.
I ain't gonna lie, it kinda, I ain't gonna say like too much, but it started with a nigga I'm thinking I'm cool with. I'm with him every day and shit like that. I'm fucking with this little bitch, and she go to a different school though, you feel me? And the nigga that shot me, he went to a different school and shit. So I said like this. The nigga that shot me wanted the bitch that I was going with, that I was fucking with, but she ain't want him. And I guess she might have said her little words to him and shit like that. And this nigga say he want to beef with me, I guess over a bitch that don't even want him and shit like that. But the whole time, remember I told you, a nigga that I'm cool with is cool with him too, cause he came from that school. The nigga I'm cool with, he went to school with that nigga. He grew up with that nigga really, and he came to my school, and I had just got cool with him that year, shit like that. So the nigga I'm supposed to be cool with, he's sitting here relaying messages and shit, like telling me, this nigga said that, this nigga said he gonna do this, he said you better watch your back, all this other shit. And I'm sitting there telling him like, fuck that nigga, I don't even know him, like I don't even know him enough to be beefing with him and shit like that, you feel me? So I remember one day, it was after school and shit, I'm at my grandma's house. I'm sitting there eating McDonald's and shit in front of the TV, like the same routine I did every night. I sit in front of the TV, eat my McDonald's and shit, and I got a knock at the door. Somebody knocked on my door, and the nigga that knocked on my door, I knew him, but I didn't fuck with him enough for him to be knocking on my door and shit. So that's when my red flags went up. Like, nigga, why the fuck ain't the nigga that we both cordial with knocking on my door, and why is you knocking on my door? You feel me? Right. This nigga knocked on my door, and my red flags went up. He told my, hey, such and such wanna see you out here. I ain't gonna say no names. He like, such and such wanna see you. My grandma came to the door. She told me, nah, he not coming out tonight, this and that. And I told the nigga, I was like, all right, I'll be out in a minute. So I already felt something was wrong. I went to my room. I changed my clothes and shit. And I called my niggas on the phone. I called my niggas and told them, like, these niggas at the door, y'all need to pull up. This shit, something ain't right and shit like that. I'm thinking we finna fight, though, like, but I ain't trying to get jumped at the same time. Cause where I'm from, niggas known to jump your ass. I ain't want to get jumped and shit like that. I wanted to get a one-on-one if it came down to it. So I stayed in my house. The nigga, my grandma told me that these niggas knocked on the door again. When they knocked on the door, all three of them came to the door. And she told them again. But at this time, I was in my room, still changing my clothes and shit. And she said she told them again, like, he not coming out. She said they were like, yes, ma'am, okay. So and they walked away. But they didn't leave. They stayed outside and shit. The whole time I'm waiting on my niggas to pull up, I'm looking out the window. After I got done changing my clothes and shit, I'm looking out the window. So I'm looking out the window, I see my niggas pull up and shit like that, and they parked in my driveway. At that time, I opened the door, I went outside. So I'm amped up now, like, hey, let's fight and shit like that. I'm amped up at this point. So I get outside and shit, and I walk up to the car, and I tell these niggas, like, hey, bro, I thought y'all niggas was trying to set me up, you feel me? Like, I feel like y'all niggas was trying to set me up and this and that, this and that. They in the car, nah, bro, it ain't nothing like that. Nah, we just trying to see what's up with you and shit. This and that whole time. The nigga that's in the front seat, that he on the passenger side, I'm at the passenger side window in the front. I'm right in front of the nigga that been threatening me and shit, talking about what he gonna do to me and shit. And I don't know him enough to know that this is him. And they knew that I ain't know him enough. That's how they caught me off guard and shit. So I said, I thought y'all had such and such in the car. Whole time, such and such is right here in front of me. The nigga in the back seat, he a bitch. He talking about some, nah, bro, we ain't on that, this and that. So we all standing out there talking and shit like that. All my niggas that hopped out the car and shit. We think this shit finna go down and shit. Whole time the shit never went down. These niggas played like they ain't want no smoke and shit like that. So we all started to relax. So we started to relax, and my niggas got back in the car like, oh, these niggas don't want no smoke and shit like that. All these niggas done got back in their car. It's 3 of them. The shooter never got out the car though. So we sitting there talking back and forth. My niggas done got back in the car. They done got back in the car. Mind you, I'm at my house, so I'm the only nigga still in the yard, cause I'm at home. I ain't going nowhere. These niggas talking to me back and forth. Oh, where the hoes at? You know where to get some weed at? And this and that. We sitting there debating back and forth. I'm like, you can go here to find the hoes. You can go here to get the weed and this and that. Now it was a split second where they asked me about about the hoes and shit. When they asked me about the hoes, I told them where to get the hoes from and shit. Once I said what I said, once I gave my answer, they was like, oh, all right, bro. And they all looked forward in the car. But I'm watching the passenger the whole time because I don't know him. I'm nervous, you feel me? And he looked down. And when he looked down, he looked up quick as fuck. But when he looked up, he pointed something at me. And you know, it's a lot of gang banging and all that type of shit down there. I'm trying to see, this nigga throwing up his set at me? Is this nigga, like, flicking a nigga off? Like, I don't know what the fuck going on. But then I seen, like, the light off the barrel of it. I seen, like, the street lights. Like, the street lights out on the barrel of that bitch when he turned a little bit. And, like, it's like my foot moved, but my body wouldn't let me run, you feel me? My body would not let me run. My foot moved, but my body didn't go nowhere. And then I just heard a loud ass boom. And then when I heard that shit, I seen fire come out that bitch. And my shirt flicked like that. And I knew I was hit. Once my shirt flicked, I knew I was hit. And then once I knew I was hit, that's when my body allowed me to run. Like, I came out of shot, I started running. And I ran, I was running in zigzags through the yard and shit. I jumped over a bush, I ran to the front door. Mind you, this nigga still shooting. And my grandma then came to the front door to trying to see what's going on. And he's shooting at me as I'm running towards the front door. So he could shoot past me and hit my grandma. Shit, so when I hit the door and opened the door, I grabbed my grandma and I threw her. Like, I threw her into the hallway and shit like that. So she wouldn't get hit and shit like that. And my little sister ran into me, she grabbed me. She was like, what's going on, what's going on? And I told her, I was like, man, they shot me. Shit like that. And I looked back. That's when I looked back towards the front door to make sure they wasn't like chasing me down and trying to run in there and finish me and shit. And these niggas, that's when I seen these niggas step on the gas and hit the gas and shit like that. And my grandma, she was panicking. My grandma and my sister was panicking. My grandma tried to call the ambulance for me, but she dialed the wrong number because she was so shook about the shit. So I pulled my own cell phone out. I was trying to be calm for them. I pulled my own cell phone out and I called them for myself. And I'm thankful that they was panicking, because if they would have been too calm and shit, I might have would have been the one panicking. But once I seen them panicking, I knew I had to be the one that's calm to get some help for myself and shit like that. I called the ambulance. I told them, I just got shot. I need an ambulance over here. And they pulled up. I went to the hospital and shit. That's how this shit happened.
Whew. Man.
Well, that's how this shit go.
Now you here? Now you here?
Still here.
Making good ass
Still
music.
kicking.
2 kids.
Yeah.
You got a wife?
Nah.
No wife? Girl? Okay.
I got a baby mama though. I love my baby mama to death.
Alright.
I love my baby mama to death.
So, how long you been friends with Li’2?
Actually, this is my blood brother. This is my older brother, even though I'm bigger than him. So, you know, we grew up together, but like he said, he moved to Alabama when he was 6. And we got the same dad, but different moms and shit like that. So, you know, I stayed with my mom and shit like that. Then I moved out to Baltimore when I was like 7. Then as we got older, teenagers, we just got back together. We just been close ever since, you feel me? It's like as if niggas never left each other's side for real.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, Li’2, we getting close to the end of the interview, but I ain't gonna lie. Vibe 2, that gangsta soul music, that shit is lit, bruh. So, I ain't gonna lie. What made you and your cousin think of that song?
Whole time for real, that's just some shit I wrote. Like, as soon as I heard the beat, you know, I started that shit out like, this some shit that you can vibe to, that you can ride to. Ain't seen a nigga do it like me. Hey, who you lying to? As soon as I heard the beat, them lines came to my head. I was freestyling to it at first. And I just went off of that. It was really, I really had 2 verses on it. But my cousin was in the studio with me, and I was like, bro, fuck my second verse. You hop on this bitch with me. Like, I like to show love to all my niggas and shit. Especially niggas I know that take it serious like I'm taking it serious. And that shit just came out the way he ripped the whole shit. Like, this, we was in the studio working on it together. He ripped the whole verse, and it's just how it came out.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I got you subscribed on Apple Music. Got you subscribed on YouTube. So anytime you drop something, I'm right there. Download. First download is always gonna be me.
Yeah.
Also, I ain't gonna lie. That Instagram picture, that shit was fire. That shit was fire. You know, I gotta slide my way into the interview a little bit.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with that Instagram picture. But I ain't gonna lie, with me, I'm kind of uncomfortable with guns pointing at me, but hey, it came out fire though, right?
Yeah.
So I trust you. I trust you and your brother. That's good. That ain't go.
For sure.
I love this shit though. I love doing pictures, and I love listening to your music. So, what type of projects you got coming up?
I got a video coming, probably to my song called Mega. I dropped that shit like 2 years ago. I'm just not about to do a video to it. I got a tape called Gangsta Soul Music. It's gonna be featuring my nigga Hez. It's gonna be featuring Maya. My nigga Plugged In. That's probably about it for right now that I know that's for sure that's gonna be featured. I might have some more features, you never know. You never know. That's what I'm working on right now. That's it.
All right, man. Li’2, you got anything to say to your viewers, to your audience, to your fans?
I just want to say, stay in tune, man. A lot of shit coming soon. I do this shit for Toddy. I do this shit for me. I do this shit for my nigga Hez. I do it for all my brothers and sisters, man. And free my little cousin Buggy, man. Free Lil Day. You know, a lot of shit going on. And shout out my nigga Plugged In. Shout out Big Shotty Maya.
Shout out Maya, shout out Plug.
Yeah, for sure. They're my niggas for sure. And we're gonna keep this shit rolling, man. Y'all just stay in tune, keep supporting me. If you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you, man. GSM. Get some money. Gangsta Soul Music.
And that is it, y'all. Fuego Visions. First interview with Li’2.
For sure.
Best music coming out. Man, stay tuned for more interviews. Stay tuned for more music. Have a blessed day.
So.
This some shit that you can vibe to, that you can ride to. Ain't seen a nigga do it like me. Hey, who you lying to? Walking with his Glock 23. I got my 9 too. You better talk to God if you think you finna slide through. Don't make the wrong move, cause that's how you make the news. I keep a couple niggas with me that's gon' break the rules. Flying like a blind man, I'm always moving with the two. You must be a fool if you think I'm finna play with you. Hey, I ain't finna play with you. Baby say she got with a winner, cause she don't like to lose. Ask me where I'm trying to go with this, but I ain't got a clue. And I can't lie, God is my witness, I'm trying to slide with you. I'm tired of playing cool.